Welcome to this video. Thank you so much for tuning in and sharing in this now moment with myself and with one another. If you haven't seen these videos before, welcome. Welcome back if you have. My intention is unity and oneness in the highest levels of love light. Oh, I have so much I could go into, and I would like to talk a little bit about intuition, but I'm on my phone, and so I have less room on my phone, about a half hour's worth of time before I run out of space. So also I would like to talk about synchronicity. So I'm just going to go into some flow. Little light language to start. Then we'll go into a little bit and see what comes through. I'm at a stoplight. And so we share these tones, for we are all tone, in tone, we are all intonation, intonating beings. I'm hearing like incarnating, intonating. We are creating through sound, we are interweaving, we are interwrapped, if you will. I just saw a license plate literally that said oneness. That was the license plate, oneness. And as we allow ourselves to flow into these sounds, as we allow ourselves to flow with the sound of our own voice, as we allow ourselves to voice from the space of the void, we allow ourselves to flow into a deeper matricy, if you will. And when I say matricy, I see a tree, a matrix tree of complete interwoven connectivity, a netting web, if you will, a knitting web. That's a breathing, living light network. And that's what I see us, the star seeds, as. And it's electric. And so we may use words to connect into nodes, to connect into the pathways, the neural pathways, the knowing nodes, to understand the rhetoric, if you will, that we all connect through, that we all allow ourselves to dip into, to chew, if you will. I'm seeing chew, like tobacco. I think they call it dip, but I'm not sure. You dip, we dip, we dip. And as we dip in and out of these frequencies, so to speak, as we rip, let it rip, as we allow ourselves to, I'm hearing rip and repeat, let it rest, ride it up, repeat, and that's all kind of a play on words. I'm seeing a reference to ukuwa ine okushtana. We allow ourselves then to reflect from a deeper drum, a deeper resonance, a deeper harmonic, a different beat, a different pattern, a deeper well, if you will, a deeper sense of well-being. And we allow ourselves to flow in tonation with all, with one, in one nation. So what I'm seeing is just this magical plethora. Guys, I can't make this up. I'm seeing a friend of mine and sister had told me about a 5-point fire, which I didn't know anything about. She kept saying it's a 5-point fire that I guess her family might be talking about right now. And I've never heard that until today. And I just drove past a car that says 5-point fire on it. In other words, but it was on the car. And I'm also driving behind a car or trailer that has flames on it. machete maybe. It's pretty, really pretty. And as you allow yourself to play with the landscape that you are a part of, as you allow yourself to play with the landscape that you are creating, that you are painting, if you will, that you are paint tingling, that you are electrifying, that you are coloring into, that you are I don't think I had my microphone plugged in the whole time. Apologies on the sound. Maybe it sounded okay. Maybe the microphone doesn't make a huge difference. I have the feeling it probably does. So. The words that we use are a mix of many different diagonals, many different triagonals, many different triangles, many different letters, if you will, fired up in an alchemical alignment, an arrangement, an array of vocabulary linguistics that come from a sound as they are forced through the vocal column, if you will, columbining the vocal compounds that are connected in with the teeth, the tongue, and harnessed through an energetic, computational expression in human form. And yet this is coming out through the airwaves in form that is being spoken, if you will. I'm seeing spokes on a wheel, and I'm seeing a color wheel, and I'm seeing hues, and I'm hearing hue. We play with these sounds in such a way that it allows us to harness certain energies and frequency waves that are otherwise uncomprehensible, if you will, uncomprehensizable, unable to be expressed in particular weavings and patterns of frequencies. I was seeing frequent, and then I just saw a car pulled over on the side of the road that says frequent stops. We pull through all of the taste buds, if you will. We pull through an array of signs, symbols, sounds, thought forms, patterns, frequencies through the art of communication. Through the art, I'm hearing art waves, air waves, how great thou art, the art of communication, the art of sound, the artwork, working together in art form. I'm hearing rareformity, like a rare form, almost like an elemental combination that is rare. For we all have access to this particular potentiality. And as we play on, I'm hearing on now, like I'm recording this and I'm sharing this with you guys. And I'm sharing with you guys how I play in my worlds. And this allows me to pull through the fabric of my reality many different ways of communication, because spirit moves in all things, right? That's what the Native Americans taught. They called it the spirit that moves in all things. Animate or inanimate can be utilized as a tool. And I'm hearing as a force field. And I'm hearing as I am the force because I am a Jedi. And I'm seeing a Jedi uses all things within their force field because they are the field. They're part of it. And so animate and inanimate are all part of this force field. And as we allow ourselves to communicate with it in this way, we become a living collaboration and co-creative frequency combination in our own technology. Driving forward, driving driving forward a combination of frequency patterns of co-creation that allows us to establish a rarefied network, if you will, of fractality, of harmonic combinations that can be combined with any sensations under many umbrellas. Ella. We may do this through sound, tone, vibration, through color schematics, through synchronization, through dur at ak ar ak ur de et ak ur, through co-creative frequencies that have been established in all realms. I'm hearing imagination, I'm hearing in the DNA realms, in the quantum fields, in all realms of existence. We are inviting all to connect in with all realms. The elemental realms are in all things, so to speak. The element all, kuwar ak e ak ur andahar ak ur. And as we allow ourselves to be, I'm seeing a patchwork quilt, to be that patchwork quilt, to be the living, breathing experience in a constant state of flow. We then allow this now to be expressed in all ways, through all paths, through all pathogens, through all pathogenetics. Pathogen is a play on words, and I'm being reminded to remind everybody that our words need not hold such a specific frequency in association with our filtration system. So a gentle reminder that oftentimes we might limit our vocabulary, our tones, our sounds. We might limit all of that, especially when we are limiting the expansiveness that we are. We are not limited to one particular analogy. We are not limited to one particular archaeology. We are not limited to one particular timescape, soundscape, color recognition, sight, sense. It is all one in a fractal field, yet it is all a combination of individual components that mix and mingle together to create the space of a new consistency. And we are playing with this in front of you, so to speak, so that you may too play in your own way. This may not be the same construction set that we are displaying, so to speak, in this particular example, yet it is a tool that can be useful and utilized to see how many can access the fuller potential, the fuller spectrum, the fuller recognition of what is being, I'm hearing more answers to the questions. I'm also being guided to share that sometimes this has to do with dreams and dream interpretations. It has to do with conversations that many are holding, television shows that we're watching, and I've talked about this so many times before on how everything is talking to us, especially when we're open to it. And what we hear is based on what bubble of reality we're playing in sometimes, and sometimes it has to do with the vibration that we're holding, and oftentimes it has to do with the vibration that we're willing and able to access. So we might be grumpy, but then we start playing with this energy and it raises our frequency because we let go of that heavier field and allows us to feel into I'm hearing it, step out of the dense layers, the darker colors, and to step more into a more liquid, crystalline, codex of color frequencies, right? A deeper vibration of these frequencies and harmonics. Creating our own form of language, our own way in which we communicate through this crystal harmonic soup, if you will. This crystal harmonic suit of technology, of wavescapes, of I'm just seeing everything moving and fluxing and flexing and breathing and sounding out. And I'm just hearing sounding out loud. So we always heard that term, and it was such a, funny term. Don't talk to yourself. Or have you ever heard you say, oh, I'm just talking to myself? And then people say, well, at least, well, as long as you don't talk back. I used to always say, why not? Don't I want an answer? From one perspective, it's crazier to talk to ourselves and not get an answer, right? If we're just talking and talking and talking and we're not listening for the universe to provide an answer, because we are connected to the fabric of the universe. So everything is communicating with us. And it just takes us sometimes to get into the right resonance and the right frequency in order to hear. And when I say hear, I literally see the spirals on the inner ears, and I see that moving into the fascia in the body. And I just see this web that we are, it's beautiful. Mycelium, my cells, right? The Helium, Helium, oh boy, Halmium, so much about that. So as we allow ourselves to key into these deeper signature frequencies of harmonious introspection, entering into inner, I'm seeing a speck, inner, I'm seeing sparkles. As we allow ourselves to weave into these new codes and these new geometries through all access points, not limiting ourselves to just one, although you can. Some people work more closely with the elemental kingdom because that's what they access more easily, and that's where they're comfortable, and that's where they get most of their ability or receive and give as a conduit more interconnectivity, and that's beautiful. It's a gift. What I'm hearing and seeing is that's not to be taken lightly, but the more we can lighten up, the easier the communication will become when we're trying to get answers through all things. So if we have a particular field that we access much easier and with more grace, is what I'm hearing, then we're being invited to focus on that. So that we can become, I'm hearing, commune with it more, so that it can become one with our community, so that we become one with it, so that we commune more with that communication. And this allows us to access our intuition, our higher intuition, our deeper knowing. And I want to do a video on intuition as well, because my friend and I were having such a beautiful conversation about intuition and how it's so different for everyone. And I'll do that on another video. As one of you guys posted, that's another video. I should do a whole section called That's Another Video. I can't get over that. I think that's hilarious. So, yeah. So in love and light, guys, thank you so much. I'm going to end on that note, so I'm running out of room on here. But I wanted to share I'm getting caught up on emails, as always, and I have some videos I'm getting caught up on. Josh, I haven't forgotten about you. I have an email I'm going to send out to Tracy, who emailed me about doing an email session. So sometimes I get a little behind on those, and I'm sending those out in the next couple of days. So thank you so much for your patience. And in love and light, guys. Namaste. Have fun communicating and co-creating in flow.